But it's so much slower.
Yeah. Nelson with an island. Now it's Tassiger. So he's delved away 5 cards. And now we'll head back over to Jesse. And Jesse will untap and draw. And we know he's got a Windswept Heath and Duskwatch Recruiter. Not sure what the draw step was here for Jesse.
Yeah, either way, you can start recruiting.
Mm-hmm. He'll play the Windswept Heath. And he'll sacrifice it. Down to at least 21. We'll see how low he wants to go. And it's just going to be a basic forest, so he'll keep it simple.
Now, you're commenting on Ben Friedman's lack of hat earlier in the event.
Yes, lack of cowboy hat, yeah.
Yep. How do you feel about Jesse's chapeau here?
I'm a fan. It's not the hat for me, but I'm a fan of what he's working with. It's definitely a hat for him.
Yeah.
I think it looks good. Duskwatch Recruiter is going to resolve with 3 mana available. Brad's going to play a Thought Scour, turn over a Lightning Bolt and a Thought Seize, and now he is untapping. I don't think I could get away with that hat. I can get away with a lot. I don't think I could do that hat, though. It's called a Chabot?
No, that's just...
Oh, you could have sold that on me. I didn't know it was called. So if you told me it was, I would have bought it. Whatever you said.
Just silliness.
What's that?
Just silliness.
Oh, okay.
Chapeau?
Now it has an accent now?
It's probably French.
Which is it? What's the deal?
I have enough trouble with the English language as it is. I probably shouldn't venture out into other languages. Both of these decks are kind of looking at each other right now. You know, Brad's at 12 life. He doesn't want to get to attacking yet. You know, quite a few creatures on the other side of the board. Jesse's not going to just start crushing his creatures into that Tassiger anytime soon. Which makes that Duskwatch Recruiter quite good right now.
Mm-hmm. Coleon's command. And target Duskwatch Recruiter, and Brad wants to get a little something back. Looks like we're going to have a response.
I believe it was a Street Wraith.
Well,
we got backup recruiters.
Yep. There's a Blood Crypt untapped, and Inquisition is going to take that that backup recruiter, going to leave Jesse with the Birds of Paradise. And all of a sudden, Jesse's hand not that good. Now, for now.
Yeah, like we said, a Viscera Seer still wins the game for him.
Viscera Seer Quarter Calling.
Collected Company.
Yeah.
Another recruiter.
Yeah, 2 copies of Viscera Seer in the main deck here for Jesse.
Eternal Witness if he draws one.
It doesn't take much. Here's an attack with a Kitchen Finks. It's going to become a 4/3.
I like this.
Basically free, right?
Yeah.
Brad's at 8 already? Jeez.
It's a little funny because Brad's saying, maybe I just want to take this damage.
Go to 4, make that shadow bigger?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, he's going to go down to 4.
Yeah, maybe Jesse's actually helping him out with that.
Another Finks. And a bird. And a pass. Nelson will draw.
Now this is a lot to fight through for this Grixis Death Shadow deck.
Well, there's Death Shadow. It's huge. As it generally is.
How big do you want your 1-drop creatures to be?
Well, big. This one satisfies. Kitchen Finks might want to. That's interesting.
Yeah, the question is, does the bird just get frisky here?
Yeah, that's. When you're playing against Death Shadow, you're playing this weird game where, all right, I can hit you from one in the air with the birds, grows the Death Shadow a little bit. So.
And we see Brad looking to terminate. You would hate to kill a bird here with a terminate.
Yeah, I wouldn't love it. What's this? Another Kitchen Finks, boy.
Oof. This is a lot to slog through.
It is not going to be easy. Nelson. Going to play a fatal push.
There's no good options here. The Vizier, that's kind of what I thought he might go for. But all these Kitchen Finks are still a problem.
Yeah, these are going to be an issue because they just get to attack with free reign. Brad needs to draw another creature, basically. Whoa. All right. Things I did not see coming.
Yeah, this is a big guy coming in.
He's at 25. Like, wow. All right.
Yeah, I didn't expect Brad to attack here at all.
I mean, he's got to start dealing damage, so I get it. I just did not expect it.
Yeah.
But one thing Brad does very well is play to win. So sitting on his heels and doing nothing is not playing to win.
Yeah, and if Jesse just keeps attacking with that bird, Brad has to use a removal spell on the bird, and then he still has to deal with all these Kitchen Finks. And, you know, yeah, he has to start getting more proactive.
Oh, Death Shadow?
Yeah.
Figured as much. Jesse's down to 15. Jesse will draw. If you're Brad, you're probably just thinking, you got to draw a land eventually, right? Well, nope.
Vizier.
Yep. Jeez.
That's a good one.
That's the nuts. Yeah. Brad must have made some sort of comment because he even got Jesse laughing a little bit. Jesse's had a healthy string of draw steps, I'll say that.
Yeah. Well, and I think Brad wants to use a removal spell in response to this Vizier coming down.
Yeah, I think so too. Slow down on Kitchen Finks.
Yeah, he has no choice. You know, 3 Finks attacking, 2 of them get blocked. One is lethal.
Mm-hmm.
So if you'd have to do it in combat anyway, you might as well do it now, get the -1/-1 counter on it. Then if you manage to kill it again, it doesn't come back.
That's true.
Unfortunately, this lets Jesse just attack with the bird in the air if he wants to.
Yeah, he can keep doing what he's been doing previous turns. Here's Terminate on one of the Kitchen Finks.
Yep.
So Jesse's going to gain 2 life. He's going to go up to 17.
Yeah, he took 10 from a Death Shadow.
Yeah.
He's at 17 life.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like much. Bird's in for 1. Nelson's down to 2. All right, draw a card. Oh, it's going through the graveyard. Could be Snapcaster Mage.
Potentially.
That'd be, I think, far and away the best draw here. So we go over to Jesse.
Yeah, if it was Snapcaster Mage, Brad would be wishing he had 1 more land in play. The looping of the Colgan's command to get back Snapcaster Mage.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Like, that's where you want to be.
Yeah.
Especially when you need to deal with a lot of things on the opposing side.
Bird again.
Yeah.
Bird with Noble Hierarch. Jesse playing a little conservative. He could have maybe said, shoulder shrug, send him in.
Yeah, send in the clowns.
Yep. But a lot can go wrong there.
I don't hate this path.
Not in that big of a rush.
No. Well, and Brad's in this bad spot where he can't ever attack.
Oh, yeah, he
He
can't.
leaves himself so vulnerable.
Here's Tasker activation. It's a Tasker and I think a Dispel. Yeah, Snapcaster Mage,
Snappy,
excuse me.
yep.
New artwork of Snappy.
You could take that. There's probably a lot of cards that he could just give him. Give him another Tassiger. Who cares?
Oh, what is this? It's Court of Calling?
Looks like Court of Calling.
Yeah. Boy, Jesse's deck sure to cooperate over those past couple of turns, but that's how it goes sometimes. Jesse Piland's going to win game number 1 here over Brad Nelson. Counters Company looking impressive there in that first game over Grix's Death Shadow.
And you can see just how the deck can grind people out. You know, just value them out through the course of the game. It doesn't even need the combo. It has the threat of the combo, so you're killing all of these creatures that threaten the combo, and then the other value creatures are still sitting around on the board. The Kitchen Finks, the Eternal Witnesses, the Noble Herrick just gets a lot of work done. Looked really good.
Yeah, that particular game it certainly did. Now we're going to start with Brad Nelson, his sideboard. 3 Ceremonious Rejection, 2 Collective Brutality, 2 Nile Spellbomb, 2 Surgical Extraction, 2 Stubborn Nile. A Liliana Last Hope, a Kozilek's Return, an Izzet Staticaster, and a Kolaghan's Command. I think those last 4 singletons are pretty darn good.
Yeah, a lot of these singletons are good here. The Liliana is great against all these 1 toughness creatures. The K command is awesome. The Izzet Staticaster is very solid. Kozilek's Return can sweep up a lot of creatures, and I really like the versatility of the collective brutalities.
For Jesse Piland, it's 3 Path to Exile, and here come his singletons in Selfless Spirit, Stony Silence, Gideon Ally of Zendikar, Linvala, Keeper of Silence, Kosali Pride Mage, Orzhov Pontiff, Kataki War's Wage, Maelstrom Pulse, Tyler's Tracker, Burnt Forge Tender, Eidolon of Rhetoric, and Sin Collector.
All right, and we've seen these Counters Company's decks diversify a little bit after board and get even more value-centric, even less dependent on the combo. So bringing in cards like Gideon, Tireless Tracker, Sin Collector, they just generate even more value. They're better at attacking the opponent than some of his main deck options, and it's just more diversified threats that are hard for Brad to deal with.
Well, those are the options there for both players. They are going to sideboard and shuffle up for game number 2, and Nelson will be on the play at that point, so we'll see if he's able to tie things up here in just a moment. In the meantime, let's talk about the Season 2 schedule on the SCG Tour, shall we? It's going to start with the Season 1 Invitational Weekend in Roanoke, Virginia. We've been talking about that quite a bit this weekend. You can find more details over at StarCityGames.com about all the cool things that are going on in Roanoke from June 30th to July 2nd. Then we go to Cincinnati for Standard, Atlanta for a Team Constructed Open.
Nice.
I'll be there doing some battling.
You've been trying to recruit some people.
Well, yeah, you shot us down, which, well,
I have family obligations.
I see what's more important. Syracuse for Modern, Richmond for Modern, then we'll go to Louisville for Modern, Dallas for Standard, Charlotte for Modern, and then we go to the second half, which was Cincinnati, a little Modern action there. Washington D.C. for Legacy. Get that fixed. Regional championships. Baltimore for a Team Constructed Open, and then another Invitational, which will be Standard Modern with a Standard top 8. Now we got to talk about the playmats here.
Okay.
Because we got some sweet ones. We've taken Bantu the Glorified. We've removed the horrible frame, the Invocation frame, and we put on a playmat, and it looks beautiful.
Less is more here.
So that's our Standard Open and Classic playmat for Modern. Spell Pierce, and it's beautiful art.
The colors, the contrast on this,
it's really nice.
So nice.
It's really nice. And then, of course, for Legacy, it'll be Days.
So nice.
You can get all of those playmats here on the SCG Tour during Season 2, free and exclusive, with entry into any Season 2 Open or Classic here on the SCG Tour.
Yeah, I'm done commentating.
You're going to get back out in the field?
Yeah, how else am I going to get these playmats?
I don't know. You got to play.
Got to enter some events, man.
That's right. You got to do battle. You playing that Team Open with us, you could get one of each.
You guys would just give me all the playmats?
It could be worked into the deal.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
You're not coming.
I don't trust you at all. But
what? How? That is unbelievable. I bought you breakfast yesterday, and now this is where our relationship is? I bought you Days in French toast sticks, and this is where we are.
And what happened this morning?
Don't remember. I don't remember.
I didn't reciprocate that action by buying.
I don't remember you buying me breakfast at all.
Oh, okay.
So there's that. We're going to learn a little bit more about Brad as he's taking a mulligan here. 31-year-old from Roanoke, Virginia. 9 open top 8s, 2 open wins, 3 invitational top 8s, 1 invitational win. Also the 2014 SCG Players Champion. Great golfer. Big StarCraft 2 fan. And as we all know by this point, one hell of a Magic player too.
He's all right.
He does okay.
He wins the occasional Friday Night Magic.
He does. He does okay for himself. Standard, his main format, but he does dabble in Legacy and Modern on occasion, and he's having a good weekend here in Baltimore. Win or lose, it'll be a successful weekend here for Brad Nelson, but you know he wants to add another top 8 to that resume. However, he is on a mulligan here, but he is scrying. He's keeping it on top, and we are underway here in game number 2. Grixis Death Shadow is going to start by cycling a Street Wraith. Nelson down to 18. Now it's blue to Delta 17. Could be 15 here in just a minute. And it is 15.
It's a good start for this deck.
This is the dream.
I mean, it's just so funny to say something like that. Like, you know, it just wants to start with as little life total as possible on the first turn.
Serum Vision's here. That'll draw Nelson a card. Now he'll scry too.
Looks like Snapcaster.
Keep them both on top. All right, looks like a pretty good start here for Brad. We're going to send it over to Jesse now. Counters Company. Let's see what it can do. Verdant Catacombs and just a pass.
A little bit less on that turn.
Yeah. A little slower start. Scalding Tarn here for Nelson. And he'll just pass the turn back.
And sometimes in these decks that have the mana accelerants in them, in matchups where you feel like it might be a little grindier, you side a couple of them out or a bunch of them out, and you're like, I just have more action spells. I don't have to go as fast as possible. And if he thinks, all right, the Grixis deck is going to need 3 turns to set up before they start pressuring me, maybe it's better if I just have more action in my deck than some mana creatures.
Yeah, because the mana creatures are pretty bad draws in the late game.
Yeah.
That's actually part of what makes Noble Hierarch so good, is that it's actually a relevant draw in the late game.
Oh, yeah. Does it all.
Yeah. Overgrown Tomb is what Jesse searched for. He's at 19. Razor Verge Thicket into Birds of Paradise.
Okay, I take it all back.
Some number left in. Seems reasonable. Nelson will draw. Does have a copy of Fatal Push in hand, but not interested in killing the birds just yet, it appears. If at all.
Yeah, until that bird gets backed up by a couple Noble Hierarchs.
Then you might be having a conversation. But Fatal Push has got a lot of work to do in this matchup.
Yeah,
between Devoted Druid and Vizier. Yeah.
Plenty of other targets.
Yeah. Bloodstained Mire. Sacrifice a couple of lands. There's a Steam Vents and
looks like Blood Crypt.
Yeah, that's the first land he has up front, but he's also still searching a little bit.
Yeah, it's too bad he has to take all this damage.
Yeah, it's tough. Don't know what he's going to do. That's going to be a Blood Crypt, too. All right, Death Shadow's on the loose.
Down to 9 already.
Yeah.
He better be careful.
Probably hasn't done much yet, has Jesse? Just a Birds of Paradise. 3 mana here. Is it Static Caster?
Oh, that's a goodie.
That's pretty darn good.
And right now I'm hoping Jesse brought in some Path to Exiles.
Yep. If not, Is it Static Caster is very, very good.
Problematic.
Against these company decks. It kills a lot of their stuff. They got Birds, Noble Hierarchs, Viscera Seers, Kitchen Finks one that has a persist counter on it. Boy, what?
Vizier.
Vizier and Eternal Witness.
Just most of the deck.
Yeah, a very high percentage of creatures from this deck. There's Godless Shrine. 3 mana. There's Kitchen Finks. Nelson will untap, and he's drawing. Found a Death Shadow.
It'll kill the second half of Kitchen Finks.
Yeah.
Does it all.
Static Caster's nice. Relevant power and toughness, too. 0/3 does a nice job of blocking. There's a lot to like about this card. Let's see what this is. This will be a Snapcaster Mage. And now, Serum Visions. Rattle, draw, scry 2.
Yeah, an 0/3 will live through a Kozilek's return. Which Brad has in his sideboard.
Haven't seen that card show up yet this weekend, but there have been a lot of spots where if it did show up, it would have been very good.
Yeah.
Against this Connor's Company deck.
Yeah, this is what it's here for.
Mm-hmm. Nelson long look at the scry 2 here as he's going to consult his hand. Five cards in hand for Brad right now. Where are we going, Brad?
That's a good sweat for us.
Yeah. Top bottom split the difference. The last Serum Vision scry was easy. It looks like he's going to split the difference. One on top, one on bottom. There we go. That is exiled. And now we're going to head back over to Jesse. Hey, nobody said it would be easy. Playing Death Shadow. Brad's done a nice job of it so far, though. He's 11-3. All right, Verdant Catacombs will be sacrificed here by Jesse.
Get this started. So you remember, I'm sure. Is it Staticaster bounces among colors?
Say it again.
Is it Staticaster?
We can just take a look at it.
Let's take a look at it. It's been a while.
Same name.
Same name.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah. There's company. Well, Nelson's tapped out, so nothing like a Dispel or a Stubborn Now can work itself into the equation.
Not a lot of great hits for him here because of that Staticaster.
Duskwatch Recruiter is in there. Burrington Forge Tender.
Ooh, the Forge Tender
is in there. All right.
He's not scared of a Staticaster.
Mm-hmm.
That one's good against Kozilek's Return, right?
That one's...
Kozilek's Return's not colorless. It is?
It's colorless.
Man, I don't
It's
remember
devoid.
any of the cards.
It's devoid. Yeah. It's red to cast.
I mean, why is Modern so big? I can't remember all of these cards, man.
I believe in you.
It's almost like I should have someone else in the booth with me who knows all the
Who
cards.
knows all the cards?
Yeah.
Maybe be able to help you out a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll see what we can do for next show, Charlotte.
We'll take it out of your salary.
Thoughtseize. Wow, okay, so it's an interesting hand. Path, Devoted Druid, Gavany Township.
This is actually a really good hand.
Weird hand.
It's a little bit strange, but he's saving the path for any really big fatties that would be difficult to fight through. He already has the Township to pump up his army.
Yep.
So then he can just swing through Snapcaster Mage and Staticaster. I like this hand.
And then Devoted Druid is there.
And there's just no
But
to
it's not like it's not doing all that much, but it's such a relevant card in the deck that you don't like seeing it
Yeah.
on the other side of the table. I'll say that.
Well, I would think Brad would end up taking a path here. We don't know all the cards in Brad's hand, but
No, he's going to take a path.
yeah, the Death Shadow deck often doesn't have a lot of fatties at any point. It depends on one or two. So fighting through two paths would not be easy.
There's Fatal Push on the Duskwatch Recruiter. And draw. Here's Gavany Township.
Yeah, we just saw Jesse's hand. Don't really expect him to do anything, but
pretty quick block.
yeah. Yeah, I think I would have waited a turn before attacking.
You saw Brad pounce
Yeah, he was ready for
on this opportunity. Yeah.
He still gets to double up the 2 damage from the Snapcaster plus the Staticaster
Yep.
to get this thing into the graveyard.
Yep.
And Jesse's going to have to use the Township now, probably, maybe not. Yep, he's going to use it now, which means when the Sphinx comes back, the Staticaster can finish it off. Obviously, Jesse can use the Forge Tender to save it at any point, but now the Forge Tender is off the board.
Yeah, this is difficult now for Jesse. So Forge Tender is going to save the Sphinx. Okay, so now Nelson will draw.
Now he just needs removal spell for Sphinx, plus the Staticaster.
What do we got now? Tassiger. Nelson did a nice job of controlling this game, much more so than the last one. Follow-up. Death Shadow. Has to turn back 2 huge creatures for a single black mana.
Looked like another 1 toughness creature for Jesse off the top of his deck.
This is naturally the concern. Staticaster looking real good this game. I mean, real good.
Yeah.
We know Jesse's got a path over there. I think he just may have picked up a copy of looked like maybe a Selfless Spirit.
It did look like a Selfless Spirit.
Yeah, he's got one of those in his sideboard. Nelson's going to sacrifice a fetch line here in Polluted Delta. He's going to fall down to 6. He's going to give himself a Watery Grave. And he'll draw.
Yeah, now Brad can start going little offense, little defense. Maybe a lot of offense if he wants to.
Yeah, maybe a lot of offense, not much defense. There's a Bloodstained Mire. Looks like he might be thinking a lot of offense.
Yeah, a lot
he's
of
reaching.
offense. And it's real tough. As soon as that Sphinx dies for the first time, you know, the Staticaster is going to take it right off the board.
Here they come. Well, we know he's got a path. Brad knows it. We know it here in the booth. You guys know it at home.
The jig is up.
Yeah, it's just which creature does he want to use it on?
Yeah.
That's the harder part. Death Shadow is a huge.
Yeah.
But Tasker has relevant text.
Yep. Both these cards just great. I would be inclined to take out the Death Shadow. Kind of stinks leaving the Tasker on the board, but it's legendary. Brad has multiple in his deck, so if he draws another one, he can't cast it.
Well, he chose Death Shadow. Nelson going to search up a basic island. Clock's ticking away on this match. We're under 17 minutes, and if things go the way that Brad wants them to, they're going to be playing a third game here.
Yeah, it's looking like that right now.
Now Nelson will pass the turn back. Another counter here on Kitchen Finks. Nelson is going to play a Fatal Push. He had a...
Yeah, Jesse's confirming that something left the battlefield on Brad's side.
And Revolt, of course, is when something leaves the battlefield, not when something dies.
Yep.
So
Jesse will get his 2 life. Kitchen Finks comes back. The Staticaster kills it right away.
Problem solved. We go over to Jesse. He needs something like a Collected Company to get back into this game.
Again, a lot of his hits are going to be 1 toughness creatures.
It's true. Duskwatch Recruiter. He'll pass with the mana to activate. Nelson will sacrifice a Bloodstained Mire, going to fall down to at least 5, maybe more.
He's in the driver's seat here.
Yep. Basic Swamp, and this will allow him to activate Tasigur, which is what he's going to do right away. 2 cards will go into the graveyard, and then Jesse will give him 1 back. Kolagon's Command, Snapcaster Mage, 2 copies of Fatal Push among the options there for Jesse to choose from. Tasigur working overtime this game.
Yep, classic Tasigur. Delve away all the chaff, things that you wouldn't want returned to your hand. Hope to get a little bit lucky with what you mill off the top of your library. Generate tons of card advantage.
Nelson gets back a Thoughtseize.
Didn't get that lucky with the mill off the top.
Kolagon's Command looking nice.
Oh, man. Snapcaster Mage, 2 Kolagon's Commands in the graveyard.
Yeah. It's going to be tough now for Jesse.
Tough.
Yeah. Here's Fiend Hunter. I've seen worse. It's not the best answer to the problems that are going on here. I will admit that, because there are...
Well, and we know Brad already has the Thoughtseize.
Yeah, that's true too. Not sure there's any fear about going down to 3. There's the hand, Selfless Spirit, Devoted Druid. And Fiend Hunter. Fiend Hunter's going to go to the graveyard. So right now for Jesse, as he's going to take a hit for 4, nothing relevant going on in the grip. Nelson will play a Scalding Tar and simply pass the turn back. Jesse Piland will draw. Picked up a copy of Chord of Calling. One of, if not the most powerful cards in his deck. Not entirely sure what that will yield right now, but we'll see how the game continues to play out. Jesse would like to see the graveyard.
Yeah, kind of look at the graveyard. But maybe he still has a Scavenging Ooze in his deck. That's not a bad one to search up.
Yeah, 1 main deck copy of Scavenging Ooze. Not sure if he sideboarded it out or not, though.
It's probably still in there.
Yeah, I imagine against Grixis, it's a card you want to leave in. Nelson doing some math here about what lands he has left in his deck. Can I afford to go to 2? Is that a big deal? So on and so forth as he looks through his graveyard and exiled piles. Now he will go down to 2. Get himself a Blood Crypt. Remember, this deck is all about going low, but not too low.
Yeah, I mean, Brad is obviously super comfortable with this deck. Used to working off of low life total. His life is just another resource that he's using, exploiting, if you will. Not for the faint of heart.
No, it's not for me. That's for darn sure.
You don't want to be sweating out every game at 2 life.
Yeah, it's not my favorite thing. I mean, it does make the games more interesting. Make sure that hopefully I don't make a mistake, but make 1 mistake, you lose. That's how that kind of works when you're at 2. Eight to 2 right now in favor of Jesse, as Nelson's going to pass the turn back. See the clock. 12 minutes or so left to go. We can update you on 1 match that did just finish.
Do tell.
Those Reed Duke fans out there. He's a winner. Reed Duke dinner.
He was just toying with us.
I know. He got our hopes up. He's 11-0. Is he going to run the table and go 15-0? Now he's down to 11-3. Is he going to miss?
Oh, what a sweat. Oh, no. What's going to happen? Yeah. I mean.
Reed Duke does win his match in a backup match. He's into the top 8. He'll be joining Todd Stevens and the winner of this match.
Brad helping Jesse out here. Activate Tasigur. You're just going to give me the Thoughtseize while I'm at 2, right?
Yeah, that's what you probably want to give me, unless you want to give me something else for some reason.
He's saying, are you going to give me a call against command? What's going on here?
Going to quickly untap. Brad's trying to get things moving along here because
Yeah.
He's smart enough to know that time is something he's also playing against here. It's actually something both the players are playing against because the draw is no good. So in we go with Tassiger.
Yeah, and against the Counters Company's deck, you really have to be careful. It's not like you can just go full steam against them in game 3, just try to open up with creatures and attack. Got to play super careful. The games are probably going to play out similar to this. So he knows it's going to take a little bit of time.
Bloodstained Mire passes the turn back. Remember, Nelson has a copy of Snapcaster Mage in hand, ready to rock and roll. Quarter calling.
All right, we're going for 4. Eternal Witness seems counterproductive here.
Depends on what he wants to get. This is interesting. Cord for 4, get back company.
Okay.
All right. Jesse gonna untap. Staticaster might just be killing Witness now.
Yeah, he's wondering, does he want to get rid of the Witness now?
Just because there's a concern with Gavney Township, I suppose. I mean, if we get a third game, these players are going to have to play real fast.
Yeah, draw is no good for either of them.
It's horrible. Knock them both out. Time to draw here for Jesse. Didn't get a great, I actually think it may have been a path, though I did not get a great look at it.
And Jesse, I mean, he has the route of just hanging on this game. He doesn't have to win this game.
Yeah, time is in his favor for this particular game.
Yeah, Brad needs to figure out how to win this game, and then how to win the next game.
Yeah, and same can be said for Jesse as well. If we get to a third one,
yes,
if we get to a third one, then all of a sudden the dynamic changes.
With the deck with infinite mana,
they can get it done pretty quick.
Can get it done pretty quick.
Is it time for Snapcaster? Yes. Snapcaster, what's it going to target? It's going to target, it looks like maybe Kolaghan's Command. This is a lot of mana that's about to be tapped. Here's Collected Company. In response to Snapcaster Mage targeting Kolaghan's Command. Top 6. Duskwatch Recruiter, Viscera Seer, so on and so forth are in there.
Eternal Witness in there.
Yep.
We're going to chain together a lot of Collected Companies here.
Potentially. That's what he's going to get back. There's Duskwatch Recruiter.
Now there's 2 Witnesses for that Staticaster to go after.
Yep.
A little bit dirty here.
That is pretty awesome. So Brad wants to target his Snapcaster Mage with his Staticaster to kill it, get it back with Kolaghan's Command, and then dome him again. So the Collected Company should be in Jesse's hand from the Eternal Witness. That resolves.
Yep.
Okay. Staticaster's going to target Snapcaster Mage.
And Jesse has a couple of options here. He chose just to let it resolve. He had the option of casting a Collected Company there. If he hits a Vizier, he actually has an infinite mana loop right there with the Devoted Druid. Well, the Staticaster is tapped.
Yeah,
the Snapcaster isn't back yet.
Okay, sure.
You know, I'm surprised he didn't just company again to take a look.
I'm not sure if he was confused by the game state, what was going on.
Sure.
You know, because he may not have ever seen the Kolaghan's command, the play of target, kill my Snapcaster Mage to loot Kolaghan's command.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what Brad went to, which is very smart because he needed to deal 4 points of damage, but it was probably better to try to go about doing that not in combat.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what he did. So what happens there, for those of you who've never seen that before, is a static caster is going to, Snapcaster Mage resolves targeting Kolaghan's command.
Yep.
If the static caster is going to target Snapcaster Mage to kill it, put it in the graveyard, now Brad's going to recast Kolaghan's command
with
from
the
Snapcaster
flashback.
Mage with the flashback, and he's going to say deal 2 damage to you, target my Snapcaster Mage to get that back.
Yep.
Get back Snapcaster Mage again, and use the other Kolaghan's command in his graveyard to kill Jesse and deal him 2 and then 2, and he was at 4.
Sure.
Because he's not going to get it done via combat. You also have to remember that there may have been a Path to Exile in Jesse's hand. He could have used that to kill the Snapcaster Mage, but then of course we're looking at Tasker still being a problem, then so on and so forth. The game got a little complicated at that stage.
Understatement.
And Brad is very comfortable in situations like that where Jesse might not be. So these players, we're going to pull those sideboards down. We're going to put the attention back on the match because take a look at the clock, folks. We're under 5 minutes, and they got to get rocking, and they got to get rolling.
Yeah, right back to it.
Both players are going to keep. It's a Razorverge Thicket, Noble Hierarch. Let's do it. Kolaghan's command the draw. Nelson will sacrifice a Bloodstained Mire very quickly. He's going to use a Lightning Bolt to take care of that Noble Hierarch as he gets a Blood Crypt and falls down to 17. And Jesse will draw. It's a Plains. It's a Birds of Paradise. Another Mana Accelerant. Nelson will draw. He's got a Scalding Tarn as the second land. Snapcaster Mage is the draw step. He'll play Scalding Tarn, sacrifice it right away. 16 at least.
14's the guess.
And as he goes by a basic island, gets a Watery Grave, 14 it is. Collective Brutality.
Yep.
Discarding a Thought Scour, so he will escalate this very powerful spell.
This is pretty good here. Love it.
Seems pretty good. Looking to kill Birds of Paradise and the Duress effect. We might see a Path to Exile actually on this Birds of Paradise.
Yeah, if Jesse doesn't have any other targets in his hand, this is definitely the play.
Well, he's going to Path to Exile the Birds of Paradise to get himself a land. The cards in hand are Eclectic Company, Vizier, and Eternal Witness.
Okay.
Get a basic forest.
All right, I like this play.
Actually, no, this is okay because
Accelerate by 1. He was light on lands in his hand anyway.
Yeah, accelerate by 1, Eternal Witness back to Collected Company.
Yep.
Sure. It's a unique way to go about doing it.
Yeah, a little circuitous, but it's getting the job done.
Pluto Delta the draw here for Nelson. The goal at the end of the day is to cast the Collected Company.
Yes.
Such a powerful card. Nelson will sacrifice Pluto Delta.
Yeah, it's hard to cast that card with only two lands in play.
Accurate. Accurate. No argument here. Nelson will search for a Steam Fence. That's untapped. Here is Kolaghan's command. I think that's Kill Witness.
Yep.
And make him discard. He's going to discard Vizier, so can Jesse draw a 4th land? Yes, he can. Gavany Township is here. Does he want to main phase this? He will not. Nelson draws a Stubborn Denial. It's a giant beating.
Well, it's possible that the Stubborn Denials aren't in the deck anymore.
It is possible.
They played a really long game too, and Jesse didn't see any.
Here is Company. 4, 5, 6. Oh boy, he only found 1, and it's not very good. What he ended up going by were some very powerful spells like getting Ally of Zendikar and Collected Company. So Vizier is going to come down, but that's not all that impressive. Nelson looking through the graveyard here.
Gideon would have been great on this board.
Yeah, no kidding. Jesse will draw. Tapping man. It looks like he might be going for Eternal Witness again. He'll get back Collected Company.
Yeah, there's always more Collected Company.
That's true. What there isn't is more time on the clock. You see it 1:18 and counting. Looks like it's going to be a Snapcaster Mage here from Nelson. Lightning Bolts. He'll be using that to take care of Eternal Witness. He'll untap very quickly and draws. We're underneath a minute here. Picked up a land. Fatal Push, Thought Scour. Among the cards in hand, he'll start with a Thought Scour, target himself. Snapcaster Mage and Stubborn Denial do go to the graveyard. So there's at least one Stubborn Denial left in Nelson's deck. There's a Bloodstained Mire. Here comes an attack with Snapcaster Mage. Jesse will take 2. He's going to fall down to 18. The follow-up is a Gurmag Angler. That's a big boy.
How big do you want your 1-drops?
5/5 at least.
At least. Sometimes 4 or 5.
Sometimes 4 or 5 if it'll draw cards, but at least a 5/5.
Sometimes like a 10/10.
That's totally fine.
Yeah.
Verdant Catacombs, and he's going to play Stubborn. He's going to play, Collected Company right now because he does not want to be Stubborn Denial. Top 6. How do we do this time? Looks like Vizier and Duskwatch Recruiter. Not the end of the world if you're Brad Nelson. Let's go back over to Nelson as he will be untapping in a moment. Looks like he'll be Fatal Pushing right now as we are in turns, ladies and gents. Duskwatch Recruiter. That'll bite the dust. Now Nelson will sacrifice a Bloodstained Mire. Can one of these two players get it done in our 5 extra turns? We're going to find out, as there is a Watery Grave.
Yeah, and it looks like Brad's just squarely in the driver's seat here, but he might not have the time to close out the game.
That's the question. I mean, Gurmag Angler is pretty big, and if he can continuously clear a path for it, it's going to make life pretty easy, but will he be able to close out the game? Not entirely sure.
I think he has... Do we know the last card in Brad's hand?
Snapcaster.
Yeah, okay. And there's a Kolaghan's Command in the graveyard. He has the 5 lands to do it.
Mm-hmm. Attack with both. You got to remember, too, Jesse can still win this one. And he can do it pretty easily because this deck has the ability to kind of explode out of nowhere. Now, it looks like Jesse just took that damage. He's going to fall from 18 to 11. Let's make it 10 at least. No Black Source here yet, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Overgrown Tomb. Yep.
Look at you.
Right.
As sharp as attack over there. Long day, doesn't matter. Still got it.
No coffee necessary.
Just a glass of OJ in the morning keeps you going.
Shake Shack at night. You know, the healthy stuff. I'm all set. Turn 2. Jesse will draw. 2 cards in hand for our Counters Company player. What are they? Don't have a great look, but we do know he's got 2 Vizier of Remedies. 5 lands, can activate Gavany Township, but can he stop Gurmag Angler and Snapcaster Mage?
It's going to be real close this game.
Yeah, it is. You can see the life totals 10-8.
Kitchen Finks would just be a nightmare for Nelson.
It'd be horrible news. You saw how good it was game number 1.
Yeah, I mean, a dozen of anything is pretty good, right? It's just like Kitchen Finks for days.
Here come the Viziers. Nelson's last card, Snapcaster Mage. I think he's thinking Kolaghan's Command.
Yeah.
And he is. It'll be 2 damage plus get back Snapcaster Mage. Is Nelson interested in trading? He might need that 2-1 to try to finish this thing.
This type of play is a setup to win on turn 5. You know, the Kolaghan's Command had the potential to deal 2 more damage to Jesse. But Brad's saying, I want to make sure I don't take this damage unnecessarily. I'll still have enough resources, enough creatures in play to win the game on turn 5.
He's going to take the 2. He's going to fall down to 6. What do we got? Viscera Seer. Birds of Paradise. Not exciting stuff there for Jesse as he's empty-handed. Turn 3 as we go to Nelson.
Chump blockers.
Stubborn Denial the draw.
Not exciting here.
Not terribly exciting, but it does prevent a top deck company.
Yeah, it's a little bit of insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like Brad's thinking Snapcaster Mage, Fatal Push the Viscera Seer so it doesn't trade with one of the Snapcaster Mages that's going to be attacking.
I think he just wants to get the Viscera Seer off the battlefield too, no matter what.
Yeah.
Just because if Jesse does draw Kitchen Finks, you know, then he gets to go nuts. So you might as well just get it off now.
Well, also, you know, Jesse's, I would imagine, is going to chump block or block with both of his creatures in combat.
Okay.
Killing the Viscera Seer first makes only one scry trigger when potentially it could be two.
Very true.
Activation, not trigger.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, two scries. There's Fatal Push. Viscera Seer will be sacrificed to scry. Top card now has become the bottom card here. Nelson going to get in with all the knuckleheads.
I can't imagine you don't block with the bird here.
I would be shocked if that bird didn't get in front of Gurmag Angler. I will say that. I'm just trying to think what's the value into keeping it.
Yeah, I mean, Jesse might be trying to think of a line where he might be able to win the game, but he only has one turn left to him.
That's very true. Turn 4. It is his last turn of this game. He'll draw a card. Remember, he scribed the top card to the bottom, so he doesn't know what this is. Nobody does, except for the person with the card in their hand. 6/6 right now. That's a lot of mana. And he will extend the hand. Brad Nelson going to win this match here over Jesse Piland. 2-1.
Oh, a squeaker.
It sure was, but he was able to get it done. And for the Grixis Death Shadow player, number